on Bannerman Island, gonna clean that place up, make it look spick and span.
Gonna be hot today, Ron?
What's that?
You think it's gonna be hot?
So we could be yeah, we could. Alright! Late, guys.
See you late, Dan.
Okay.
Alright, we ready? Hey, Dan!
Thank you, Matt, because I really do appreciate the work here. And I see you're not wimping out today. The weather's fine, so I'm not.
Rock the boat right now.
I told them I said they wimped out last week. They won't
Requested carry-on, sure.
They might get their carry-on luggage.
Won't have to do anything, all the stuff will be gone.
That sounds helpful, they do. Although I think we might only have one more. The one day we broke down here.
We should go east. Look like you could walk over. Well, there's a train stop over there.
Yeah, I'll be home. I guess we got pictures, Jed. Somebody else brought a camera.
Oh, North Carmel.
Jim's. Probably should get it before.
Yeah, that's my bag. Yep.
Scoot past you. But everybody else has it. So it's so I mean, that's pretty good.
It's on your phone.
Oh, I get that.
Can't record.
And I've got special appointments. I don't have
This yours or?
Oh, it's coming. I'll drive that. And that's
I handed them to someone.
You have the other, I don't know which cooler is which. That one's
yours.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I never mentioned that.
I usually check.
Close the bathroom behind you.
Oh my goodness, are you in for
I got the picture. I got pictures too, but I'm just a leader. Mine might not make so much sense. Whew. All right, that was pretty. Welcome to the island. We're not going to call it, well, the real name of the island is Pollepel. You probably heard that. And you heard the story of Pollepel. And you heard the story of the Pollepel cactus. Huh?
She said you love that story.
Oh, I love that. You believe every one of it. She's up and down the valley, and every time she gets up and does Pollepel, I cringe. But it's a cute story. It was written in 1861. It's actually, we have a copy of it. So just still Pollepel, technically, it's not Bannerman's Island. But in 1900, he bought the island and created something special and unique. So everybody on the river calls it Bannerman's Island since 1900. Because of this guy. This is Francis Bannerman VI. This is at his Higapesa. He was the world's largest dealer in munitions ever in the world. Francis Bannerman's collections was incredibly massive. And today his collections, his catalog is still revered by collectors of memorabilia going all the way back to the Stone Age weaponry. And Bannerman had some of those stored at 501 Broadway in Manhattan. He came here as a little kid at the age of 3 from Scotland. His family settled in the Brooklyn Navy Yard area when he was 3 years old. When he was 10 years old, his father pulls him out of school and tells him he's got to go to work to support the family because he was going off to fight in the Civil War. So at the age of 10, he has 3 jobs during the course of the day. He sells newspapers in the morning to the ship's merchants and captains in the harbor. Then in the middle of the day, he makes his way over to Manhattan, where he becomes a messenger for a law firm. And ironically, he buys the whole building when he becomes a rich man. We delivered his first message as a 10-year-old. So he and his father began buying massive auction surplus materials around the country, particularly after the Civil War. His father dies in 1872, and Bannerman's on his own. He's already married by this time. He goes to Ireland on a business trip in 1872. He falls in love with a young lady named Helen Boyce, and he proposes. They get married right then and there in Ireland, and they come back to New York, and they have 4 children, 3 of whom they raised. One of them dies at the age of 1 from scarlet fever. But the other 3 children, 2 of them go into the family business. Now, can anybody tell me the name of the first mail-order catalog that was ever put out in this country? So Montgomery Ward was one. Bannerman's catalog was the second one ever put out in this country. It grew from 8 pages in 1884 to over 400 pages by the 1930s. If you go on eBay today, if you're bored, you have nothing to do on a rainy day, type in Francis Bannerman, you will see some of his old catalogs still going up for sale and sometimes getting hundreds of dollars for these old beaten up catalogs, because collectors today still go to his catalogs to identify memorabilia. So the business begins to evolve. He sells to countries around the world, outfitting them with entire outfittings. They needed uniforms for $5,000, guns for $5,000, helmets for $5,000, boom, boom, boom. Cash on the barrelhead, he sends it out around the world. You get into the 1890s, again, his warehouses are growing in Brooklyn and Manhattan. And in 1897, he makes the biggest purchase of his life. He buys 90% of the munitions left over from the Spanish-American War. Now that included 30 million rounds of ammunition, hundreds of thousands of rifles, hundreds of cannons. He builds a cannon warehouse in Brooklyn just for his cannons, and it goes on, the list goes on and on and on and on. In 1899, New York City is becoming alarmed that he's storing black powder, cannonballs, munitions, shells, all in residential areas and near the Brooklyn Navy Yard area. So in 1899, New York City leans on him to leave town. So in 1899, he's coming up on the Hudson River Dayliner with his wife. Anybody remember the Hudson River Dayliner? Yeah, you and I, those guys did. And he sees the island. He loves the idea of bringing his munitions out here and using it as a storehouse for all of his goods. Get him out of New York City. He approaches the lady across the river, this crotchety Mary Taft, who lived in Cornwall, who bought it, as you probably saw in the video, he buys it from her for $1,600 in 1899. With the stipulation that is never to be the sale or distribution of alcohol on the island. Okay, who's working? Are we going to do a burn today or not?
We're not doing the burn.
We're not doing the burn?
I don't know. Oh, is that Tom's? Oh, you got something.
What are those names again?
I don't know, I just...
Stairmasters.
Stairmasters, gardening,
then. Oh, look at the picture.
Stairmasters,
Arsonist.
arsonists,
I got up here and it was like
brush-
the queen of the
Brush
island.
master?
Right?
No.
whackers.
Bushwhackers.
Called
Bushwhackers.
it before, brushwhacker. Historical part there.
Yeah, it's cool or whatever to get out. Thankful that you've come out here to do work for us and do all this stuff. It's really great. I'm Neil Kaplan. I'm the executive director here. And on behalf of all of our staff and all the people that are here, we want to thank you for all this amazing work that you've done in such a short time today. Please come back. We need more people. This is great. Hopefully they'll keep us another 10 years before we have to replace them. But and the trail over here is looking great. We really
Just a couple of
appreciate it.
knees and shoulders.
Thank you all for your wonderful work. We appreciate
We
it.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for keeping this place up.
Yeah, really.
I went down to the Cornwall Yacht Club this morning, and I left my car there, and then my wife drove me back with me, so my car is...
That little guy? No, well, we do have that one. Yeah, you can use that one. No, you can take that. I don't know where the other one is, though. It's right down further.
Okay.
that.
Yeah, right, the weight doesn't change, right?
Speed isn't that
Take some beer for me.
See how it takes a curve.